Hey, friends.
Oh, well, I'm now on day 9 of a 2-week raw vegan detox cleanse. Lots of this going on, a little green juice. Very good, by the way. Definitely one of the one of the perks. And and I and a cleanse like this, a dietary change, a physical body energy mind cleansing period. I'm glad that I'm doing these posts. This is the first time I've been doing these video posts as I've been doing the cleanse, and there's a kind of roadmap, not just to the physical journey, but to the emotional component of this as well. And it's been a while since I did this cleanse. It's been about 3 years, so I'm recalling it a little more than 3 years, almost 3.5 years. So I'm recalling some of it, but it's kind of like it's happening to me new. I'm noticing, like yesterday, I was in rough shape. It was a day, a bunch of stuff had a bunch of kind of like communication stuff was not easy, and I was fielding something up in Santa Fe, had a couple of different balls in the air. I felt like I was dropping some of those balls. And meanwhile, I'm like picking up on Elise early, taking her to swim camp. It's 95 degrees, high UV, just a oppressively hot day. I'm getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. And emotionally, I was like, what is good? Can I get through another week of this? Yesterday was the first day of week 2. And I got home, didn't have a dinner plan, and like when you're cooking raw vegan, it's like, oh my god, if you haven't planned ahead, you're dead in the water. What are you gonna do? Like grab a bunch of leaves out of the fridge? You've got to like really think this through in order to have satisfying meals. Got home, didn't know what I wanted to do. Called Katie, she didn't know what she wanted to do. We were both kind of like and I started just grabbing things out of the fridge, putting one thing after the next into a bowl. Made this, and little by little, it was like the first couple things went in. I was like, okay, put another vegetable in the bowl. Oh, okay. And then I found this thing of sprouts that Katie had made. She made some mung bean sprouts a few days ago, and I dumped them in the bowl, and I started to think that could be good. Like this salad could be really good. I asked Katie to pick up some avocado on the way home. She brought avocado. I made a dressing, and and as we were eating this salad, we were both like, "This is incredible. This is so good." And it shifted my entire mood, her entire mood, like everything kind of lifted just by having something really satisfying. And out of that, I was then able to get a little bit of objectivity and recognize this is always how this part of the process feels. There's always a bit of there's a kind of like early on, on like day 1, there's like a dip, and you go, oh God, my system's doing this. Okay, here we go. Then for me, usually days 2, 3, 4, kind of coast. Around day 5 or 6, I start to dip again. And then it's like, oh God, and you're not even halfway done yet, and you're going, oh God, am I gonna make it? This is getting rough, and I'm not even getting close. And then somehow you pull back out, it gets easy again, it gets lighter. And then right towards the end, phase 4, where we are drinking only juice, it's usually like a steady now I wouldn't call it a dip, but it's like a steady incline. How long can you keep up this incline? Body's just having juice, just juice. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 of that. And little by little, that becomes pretty intense, but you're also feeling your system cleanse the phase 4 is by far the most powerful cleansing phase, and so your body's doing something in there that you can feel something's happening. Doesn't make it easier, but it makes it kind of like worth it. Like, you know, you're doing something, kind of like a great workout. And being reminded of that. I'm capturing this on these posts for the first time. The last time I was doing this, I wasn't doing these posts. And I think that has given me, I hope that it gives me a sort of even better, even more clarity about what this process is about, what to expect. You know, I've thought many times that I'd love to guide people through this, because it's the kind of thing where I wish I'd had somebody, when I was doing this for the first time, I wish I'd been able to do it with some folks kind of coaching me, telling me what to expect, affirming my experiences, and just kind of saying, yeah, that's how this works. That's totally normal. Here's how you can kind of work with it. You know, there's food craving stuff that if you know a little bit of the food science and the biological science, you can do a pretty good job of alleviating them. Now, you're not gonna, depending on, you know, we're doing a pretty abrupt about face from our normal diet, so it's not like you're just gonna get rid of that. But the other thing is, I haven't really had food cravings. I haven't had, you know, there's a raw food nutritionist that I did a program with years ago. I mean, I think he was even the person who introduced me to this cleanse. Wow. Peter Pure. I should give a shout out to Peter Pure. He's an English nutritionist, raw food nutritionist. At the time he was. I don't know what he's doing now. He talked about green juice, and he said green juice, because of the alkalinity and because of the nutritional density of a juice like this, anytime you're having any food craving at all, ask yourself, am I drinking green juice regularly? Because if you're not, that's probably where the craving is coming from. Because this does so much for your system that without it, it's almost like the potential nutritional imbalance, the potential pH imbalance that your system may be experiencing is gonna send you off towards cravings in a way that may or may not represent the needs of your body. But if you have this in your system, if you have green juice kind of keeping the whole thing cared for now obviously not everything you need is in a glass of green juice, but a tremendous amount of it is, and it has a kind of, it's almost like it exerts gravity on your system in the direction of alkalinity, in the direction of mineralization, nutritional wholeness, and so from there, then see what your cravings are, because it may be that you know, green juice isn't going to give you fat. If you're craving fat, that may be something you need to deal with. Or, you know, there's protein. I mean, green juice actually has a fair amount of protein in it. It doesn't have the protein itself, but it's got the amino acids. So it's like a healthy status quo that you start moving towards, and then see where you're at. And I've remembered that. So when I do these cleanses now, I try to have green juice every single day, because that'll at least keep me in a place where if I'm having a craving, I can kind of trust, okay, like that's what I'm going for. There must be a reason for it. But all of this, it's been a few years, and so I'm having to kind of like, my system's having to go, oh, right, this is how this works. And I've never done it trying to manage a 4-year-old's summer camp schedule. That's new, super fun, and new. And sometimes you're sitting outside in 95-degree heat. So I'm talking at you this way partly because I'm trying to capture some of this roadmap for myself. If any of you would be interested in ever trying something like this, I hope that this would be a kind of helpful, maybe there's some helpful ideas in here, and you can always reach out. And because it's important for me to remember, it's important for us to remember, that cleansing, and I did my post yesterday on death, right? On drawing the death card. Katie and I were drawing tarot cards, and I drew the death card. And death doesn't mean don't go outside, you're gonna die. It means there may be a portion, some aspect of your life that's ending, some chapter in your life that's ending, an identity. In my case, I think it's an identity thing that's ready to evolve. So a version needs to kind of die. But cleansing is that. Cleansing is both life-giving and death-giving. There are elements in our system that need to go. We're not killing off the body, right? I don't know if you're not familiar. They call them anabolic and catabolic forces in the body. Anabolic forces are the energies or the processes, anabolic processes that build new cells, and catabolic processes are the ones that destroy cells, that take them away and clear them out. Well, can't survive without both, right? You can't survive on just the anabolic processes. So cleansing is partly catabolic. It's going in there and scraping out, cleaning out, getting rid of, letting things die, letting certain cells kind of be cleared out and other new ones grow. And that is mirrored in the emotional experience. That's mirrored in the consciousness that's mirrored in our conscious journey through this process. There can be a real intensity to the emotional, the deaths that are happening. And it's all good. It's all good. It's all moving in a good direction. So I'm capturing that as much for myself as to communicate it to you, but also because I really would. Like I would plug this process. I would plug this particular cleanse and just this process in general to anyone. It's transformative, really transformative. And already I was a little afraid to leap into this because I was feeling kind of low energy, and I thought, oh man, do I have the energy to do a cleanse? I know what an energetic demand it takes to really change your diet and really just do the things that you have to do. And I can already tell I already have so much more energy, and I'm going to have so much more energy at the end of it. It's already paying a dividend that's like, oh, right. Yeah. The reason to not do a cleanse is not because I am low energy. The reason to do a cleanse is because I'm low energy. If you need there's hardly a better reason in the world to do something like this than, I don't know if I have the energy to do it. If you're thinking that's the thought that should be the thought that makes you do it. So, again, that's a reminder for me, because we almost didn't do this. Thanks for watching, folks. Oh, I do want to give us one. I've been experimenting with using the piano as a kind of meditation bell. What would it mean to give that kind of intense focus to every tone that comes out of this instrument? I'll have to tell you next time because this post is over. Thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.